Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner and one of the greatest investors of all time, once said something that changed how I think about money forever. The first $100,000 is a bitch, but you gotta do it. I don't care what you have to do. If it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on $100,000. Why was he so obsessed with this specific number? Why not $50,000 or $200,000? Because Charlie understood something most people never figure out. There's a mathematical tipping point where money starts working harder than you do. Here's what nobody tells you about building wealth. The beginning is absolute brutality. It's you working your ass off, scraping together every dollar you can, and watching your bank account barely move. You save $500 this month. Next month, it's $500 again. Month after month, you're grinding. A year passes, you've saved $6,000. 2 years, maybe $15,000 if you're lucky and aggressive. 5 years of intense saving, maybe you hit $50,000 if you're doing everything right. But then something magical happens, something that most people quit before they ever experience. Around that $100,000 mark, the game completely changes. Suddenly, you're not doing all the heavy lifting anymore. Your money is. And that shift, that moment when compound interest becomes a more powerful wealth-building tool than your own labor, is what separates people who build wealth from people who stay stuck on the hamster wheel forever. Let me show you the brutal math that explains why Charlie Munger was right. Let's say you invest $10,000 and it earns a 10% annual return. At the end of year 1, you made $1,000. Not bad, but not life-changing either. You could make $1,000 by working overtime for a week or picking up a side hustle. Now let's say you saved and invested $100,000 at the same 10% return. At the end of year 1, you made $10,000. That's significant. That's almost like getting a free month of salary. And you did nothing. Your money did the work. But here's where it gets really interesting. Let's track 2 people over time. Person A starts with $0, saves $1,000 per month, and earns 10% annually. Year 1 saved $12,000. Portfolio value, $12,600. Year 2 saved $24,000. Portfolio value, $26,900. Year 3 saved $36,000. Portfolio value, $43,000. Year 5 saved $60,000. Portfolio value, $77,400. Year 7 saved $84,000. Portfolio value, $119,000. It takes person A 7 full years of consistent $1,000 per month contributions to hit $100,000. That's 84 consecutive months of discipline. That's the grind. Now watch what happens next. Year 8 saved $12,000 more, portfolio value $143,000, gained $24,000 this year. Year 9 saved $12,000 more, portfolio value $170,000, gained $27,000 this year. Year 10 saved $12,000 more, portfolio value $199,000, gained $29,000 this year. Wait, what? In year 10, person A only contributed $12,000, but their portfolio grew by $29,000. That means compound interest contributed more than their actual savings. The money is now working harder than the person. This is the tipping point. This is why the first 100K is the hardest, because up until that point, you are doing 80–90% of the work. After 100K, your money starts pulling its weight. Let's go even deeper with another comparison. From $0 to $100,000. If you save $1,000 a month with 10% returns, it takes about 7 years. From $100,000 to $200,000, if you keep saving $1,000 a month with 10% returns, it only takes 4.5 years. From $200,000 to $300,000, with the same contributions, just 3.5 years. Did you see what happened? Same effort, same monthly contribution, but the time required keeps shrinking. That's the power of compound interest hitting critical mass. By the time you have $500,000 invested, a 10% annual return gives you $50,000. That's more than many people earn in a full year of work, and you earned it while sleeping. Here's another mind-bending stat. Based on the historical S&P 500 average return of about 10% annually, your money roughly doubles every 7 years. So, $100,000 becomes $200,000 in 7 years, $200,000 becomes $400,000 in the next 7 years, $400,000 becomes $800,000 in the next 7 years. Notice that going from 100K to 200K is a 100K gain, but going from 400K to 800K is a 400K gain in the same time frame. Same patience, same waiting period, but 4x the money. That's why Charlie said it gets easier. It does. Mathematically, objectively, undeniably easier.
But here's the problem. Most people quit before they reach that $100,000 tipping point. And I totally understand why. Imagine you're in year 3. You've been saving $1,000 every month. You've sacrificed, you've skipped vacations, you've driven the old car, you've said no to dinners out. And after 3 years of this, your portfolio is worth $43,000. You look at your friends on Instagram. They're taking trips to Europe, they've got new cars, they're eating in fancy restaurants. Meanwhile, you're eating rice and beans and you're not even halfway to $100,000. This is where most people break. They think, this isn't working. I've been doing this for 3 years and I'm not even rich yet. Screw it, I'm going to enjoy my life now. And I get it. The first few years suck. You're putting in maximum effort for minimal visible results. But here's the thing. You're not building a sprint, you're building a snowball. At the top of the hill, you have to pack the snow yourself. You have to push it. It's heavy. It barely moves. But once it starts rolling downhill and picking up more snow, it becomes unstoppable. You're not pushing anymore. Gravity's doing the work. Getting to 100K is packing that snowball at the top of the hill. It's brutal, but once you're there, gravity takes over. Your money compounds on itself faster and faster. All right, so how do you actually get to that first $100,000 without it taking a decade? Strategy 1. Increase your income aggressively. Saving $1,000 a month on a $50,000 salary is nearly impossible, but on a $100,000 salary, much easier. Your mission in your 20s and 30s shouldn't just be to save, it should be to earn more. Switch jobs, negotiate raises, start a side business. Your income is your greatest wealth building tool early on. Strategy 2. Be a temporary extremist. Charlie Munger said, "I don't care what you have to do." He wasn't joking. For 3 to 5 years, live like nobody else so later you can live like nobody else. This might mean living with roommates to cut rent in half, driving a 10-year-old car, packing lunch every single day, not subscribing to 8 streaming services, saying no to expensive hobbies. This isn't forever. This is a sprint to get you to that 100K tipping point. Strategy 3. Invest every windfall. Tax refund? Straight to investments. Bonus at work? Investments. Sold something on Facebook Marketplace? Investments. Birthday money from grandma? You guessed it, investments. Strategy 4. Automate everything. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your investment account the day after payday. If you never see the money, you won't miss it. Pay yourself first and then live on what's left.
Strategy 5. House hack if possible. Buy a duplex, live in one unit, rent out the other, or rent out a room in your house. Use that rental income to cover your mortgage while you stack cash. Here's the truth. Everyone wants to be wealthy, but most people aren't willing to do what it takes to get that first $100,000. They want the results without the sacrifice. They want the compound interest without the grind. But you can't skip levels in this game. You have to put in the work at the bottom of the mountain. You have to pack that snowball at the top of the hill. And yes, it sucks. Yes, it's slow. Yes, you'll question whether it's worth it. But I promise you, when you hit that $100,000 mark and you watch your net worth start jumping by $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 per year without you doing anything, when your money is making more than your job pays you, that's when you'll understand why Charlie Munger was so obsessed with this number. The first 100K is the hardest, but it's also the most important.
It's the foundation, it's the springboard, it's the tipping point where your financial life goes from a grind to a glide. So make it your obsession. Cut the expenses, increase the income, automate the investments, and whatever you do, don't quit before you hit that number, because that's exactly when the magic starts. If you enjoyed watching this video, hit the like and subscribe button.